evening. Gonna call the Marlborough School Committee meeting to order at 6:15-ish. Mrs. Murphy, we have a visitor to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, we do. It is my pleasure to introduce Ryan Sweeney, an Eagle Scout candidate from Troop 41, and he is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ryan, will you please come?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ryan. So tonight is a special meeting that we have for those who are in the room, people watching on television. We have our friends from our sister city in Akiruno, Japan, here with us tonight, as well as Marlborough students who have gone on this trip last month to Akiruno, and also some students who are hosting our delegation of students in their homes right now. Mrs. Murphy, how do you want to proceed?
Yes, can I please, it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Heather Roach, who is the advisor this year of our Akiruno Marlborough Cultural Exchange Program. So, Ms. Roach.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for having us here tonight, especially hosting a special meeting in honor of the Akiruno Exchange Program. We are all very excited to hear. I love seeing Student Representative Risha here. I took her 4 years ago to Akiruno, so it's wonderful to see you here as well. Tonight we have some special guests. Our chaperones would love to say a speech. My students who just went to Akiruno with myself and Rick Lucina, who is the assistant principal at Kane, prepared a nice video to show you in the city, talking about their experience on the trip. And as well as we have our Whitcomb student representative, Christopher Smith, who will also share a few words on his trip. And then following the video, if you have any questions for myself or the students that are hosting, or our students from Akiruno, or our students who just went, we would love to have you ask them. All right. First up, I would love to introduce Christopher Smith.
Okay. So for all the people that are speaking, we'll have you come to the podium as Chris is, and you can move it down to make it fit for you. There you go. Perfect.
Good evening, and welcome our guests from Akiruno, Japan. I am Chris Smith, and I am happy you are here in Marlborough. Marlborough has so many different families, and it is one of the things I like best. You can see all kinds of families, eat their food, and hear their language. Marlborough is very proud of all their families. We are proud to be partners with Akiruno for 30 years. We hope you have a wonderful experience in our city, like I had in yours. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Chris. Next up, I would like to invite Hirokato Seito. He is the principal representing Akiruno this year in the delegation.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. I'm Hirokado Saito. I'm the principal of Itsukaichi Junior High School. Thank you for giving me a chance to have the speech here and to come to Marlborough, a traditional and historical city. We have only 7 days to be here, but we would like to have good experience and share many memories with you. I will cherish my visit here in memory as long as live. I'll be back. I never give up. Thank you.
So,
Oh, yep, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to introduce City Officer Shumpai Shugain.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shinpei Tsugane from Akiruno City Hall. This was my first year in charge of this exchange program, and since it had been 4 years since the last one, we were feeling things out to implement this program actually. However, I came to Marlborough and meet the people of Marlborough, meeting and talking with many of the school students, teachers, school committee members, city hall members, city councilors, and people involved in this program. I was reminded of the history and excellence of this program. It is a very wonderful experience, not only for the Akiruno students, but also for the accompanying adults. I will do to the best of my ability so that this program will continue for a long time in the future. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have City Officer Kaho Shibamoto.
Good evening.
Evening.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. My name is Kaho Shibamoto. I work for Akiruno City Hall. This is my first visit to Marlborough. I'm very happy to come here. Thank you.
Teach our politicians be brief.
Next, we have our representative from the Akiruno International Youth Club, who also serves as the vice president of that club. That is, Hono Kimazuka.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
I'm Hono Kimizuka. I'm a member of Akiruno International Youth Club. We have supported the exchange program. I went to Marlborough in 2016 for the first time when I was a junior high school student like them. So I'm happy to come again. I'm glad to register and support this program. I hope the friendly relations between Marlborough and Akiruno will continue forever. Thank you.
All right, and finally, we have our host family club member, Yutaka Yoshizawa.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Yutaka Yoshizawa. I came to United States for the first time. I was a host family for Whitcomb students 13 years ago. After that, I joined the Akiruno Host Family Club, which supports host families in Akiruno City, and served as its president until 2 years ago. This time, I came on behalf of the Host Family Club. By the way, I have been a dentist for 36 years. 2 years ago, I became a member of the City Council of Akiruno City. I currently have 2 jobs, a dentist and a city councilor, dual wielding like Shohei Ohtani. I hope that the friendly relations between Japan and the United States and between Akirino City and Marlborough City will continue in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. Now we have a short video that was prepared by Jackie Carter Hallbrooks, who is our technology support specialist at Whitcomb, by our 8 students that just went to Akiruno.
My favorite moment was definitely school. School there was really fun. And like I was surprised to see that they don't have a cafeteria. So you would like sit in your classroom and you would wait for everybody to sit down and have their food to eat. And I just think that was really like, I'm surprised they were super cooperative.
My favorite time when I was in Akiruno, Japan was Mount Fuji, because I always wanted to see Mount Fuji. My favorite time was also playing like card games and video games, because over there we played Nintendo and card games, and I also brought one of my card games, Exploding Kittens, and they loved it.
When we went to that bridge on the way to the hot springs, that was honestly my most favorite thing I did while I was there.
Well, my favorite day was when I was with my host family. They're really nice people, and I enjoyed spending time with them. My favorite part of staying with them was when we all went out and climbed Mount Takafumi.
One of my favorite times was on the very first day we went to Ashoka Festival, which was the Ginger Festival, and I was able to experience making a wish at a shrine for the first time, and like you got to like ring a bell and everything. So, yeah.
One good moment for me was when my family took me to the Tokyo Tower, and we got to go up to the very top, and it was really fun to see all of Tokyo from there.
One of my favorite experiences was on the last day before we head to the airport, the whole group, and we went to this old temple in Tokyo, and I really enjoyed seeing the architecture and how it was designed and how it's still up and running today.
Definitely how clean everything was. Like if you went to like the city, I went to Shinjuku, there was barely any trash on the streets. And they're really nice for foreigners as well. I was like expecting like maybe they're like, you know, a little on edge, but they weren't.
There was nothing that really surprised me about it. It was just that I've already, not really experienced, but I've already learned a lot about Japan and Japanese culture. So there wasn't much that like surprised me too much about it.
I mean, it's how respectful they are to the teachers. Because over here, it's not. They don't show the respect that the people in Japan do.
What surprised me was the school and how they like kind of honored their school, because there was no like crowdiness in the hallway. We took our outside shoes off before we went inside. People were giving little gifts to each other and bowing before and after class, taking English classes.
One thing about Japanese culture that surprised me was that for the school lunch we had grilled salmon, and every day the school lunch was really good.
Also, they were very shocked when they found out that we can use chopsticks and we speak Japanese.
Yes.
Like, I was shoveling rice into my mouth and they're like, oh my god, you know how to use chopsticks?
One of the things too, like at school, I feel like they respect their teachers way more over there, and
yeah, definitely.
it's like you thank them for teaching you, you bow to them, like the respect over there, like it didn't shock me, like I appreciated it very much. And I was like, when I came back here, I was like, wow, like I could definitely notice the difference in how American schools are compared to Japanese schools. That was a big culture shock for me.
It's definitely like a commitment. Like I did put in time to it, but when I got there, like I remember just wishing I'd studied more for it, like prepared myself more with like language, because I had an amazing time, but language barrier was like a big problem in school, and just like communicating with your family, because you can't entirely rely on everyone to speak good English.
One thing that I found was that could be helpful for other students in the future years was that my host family did not have as much personal space as people do here.
Yes, they do.
So that was a little bit uncomfortable, but I kind of got used to it. And the plane ride is not very fun either.
And bring something to do on the plane. Like me and Brooklyn played Mario Kart.
Good advice. Brooklyn?
Definitely learn Japanese. I wish I learned it earlier when I first applied, because I started working on my Japanese skills in the summer, and I felt like that wasn't enough time.
Bring a lot of coins, because they have vending machines, and their apple juice is the best apple juice you will ever taste.
Definitely get your passport in time, because I was cutting it close. I definitely was. I didn't get mine until like about like 2 or 3 weeks before we left, and I had to get mine renewed. So definitely make sure you have your passport renewed in advance.
For me, is definitely make sure that you have everything packed in your suitcase like at least 3 times.
What I would tell the future students is go ahead, take a shot at it. If you make it through, good job. Just to let you know, there's a lot of work ahead. You will be doing fundraisers, but it will all be worth it, and you will never forget this trip.
Awesome job. If the 8 students who went to Akiruno will just stand so the committee can see who you are. Perfect, you can sit down. Also, when I call your name, current Whitcomb students hosting, just stand with your host student so I can introduce your host student as well. So Chris, will you stand with host student, with Akiruno student Tomo? Then we have Kayla, who is hosting Ayu. We have Jade, who is hosting Tamaki. We have Liam, who is hosting Igo. And Igo actually hosted Doug. Brooklyn, who is hosting Hiyori. And Hiyori actually hosted Brooklyn when we just went. Perfect. We have Owen hosting Yuna. Perfect. We have Lucy in the back hosting Mira. And we have Malia hosting Rio. Thank you all very much. If you guys have questions or comments for any of the students here or myself, be happy to answer. I'd also like to introduce Tess Anketel. She's 7th grade ELA teacher. She's also my co-advisor moving forward this year with the program. It takes a lot, and so I roped in some new blood to help out, and it's been wonderful.
Awesome. Mrs. Hennessy.
I'm just going to say it's a thrill to have you all back here. I have 3 kids that all had the opportunity to be a part of the Akiruno program and travel to Japan. And all of them today, when I said that I had this special meeting tonight, all wrote me saying how excited they were and they couldn't wait to hear about the meeting because it meant a lot to them. So thank you so much for wanting to continue and helping us to get it back on track so that we could have you here. And thank you so much for all of your efforts working with all of the families and the administration on putting it together, because it's an absolute thrill to have you here and for us to have the kids to have the opportunity to go over and have this cultural exchange. So thank you. A pleasure.
Oh, sorry, Risha.
I went 4 years ago as part of the last group who went before COVID, and a group of us were talking about how awful it would be if this program didn't return after COVID. So it's so incredible to see that students were able to go and enjoy their time there, and welcome to the students who came from AccuRuno.
Anyone else? Any questions? Yeah, the presentation was excellent.
I will be working with Jill Roberts to put together a video that contains the video we showed today, as well as our experiences from our group being here this week, that when we come to present new dates for next year, I will bring that video with me.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you all very much.
Yep, thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Anything else, Mrs. Murphy?
No, I think
we are good.
We're good. They bring us great joy, so yes.
And we're so thrilled that we're back together again. And going forward, we'll continue to grow the program back to what it was before.
Mrs. Murphy, could I ask, would it be possible for us to get the group of students that whether they participated going over or they're hosting and all of the kids up here together so we could get one picture?
Yes.
That'd
Certainly.
be lovely.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so we will do that, yeah, and then
after the meeting or whatever.
Yeah, so I would entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carries. We are adjourned.